Nope.
I've been wearing glasses for as long as I can remember. I've always had bad vision, but over the years it deteriorated so badly until I couldn't see a finger in front of my nose. One day when I was working out and my glasses got knocked down and shattered, I decided it was time for LASIK surgery. After weeks of grueling research, examinations, and finally the surgery itself, I got my new eyes. When I was told to open my eyes, I did so and nearly jumped out of my seat. Standing in front of me was the doctor who performed the procedure, but his skull was cracked open and bleeding. His arm was broken in various places, and he was missing a few fingers. "Something wrong?" he asked, and when I told him, he told me to go home, get some rest, and call him in the morning. I dismissed what I saw as a figment of my imagination and rode back home, marveling at the HD environment I was able to see with my new sight. The next morning, I called the doc. His secretary picked up, and what she told me nearly made me drop my phone. Apparently, the doctor had been in a car crash yesterday, which took his life. I found it really odd that I saw him all bloody and wounded the day prior, and that he ended up dying the same day. But I just attributed all of it to a crazy coincidence. That was until 2 weeks later, when I ran into a random person on the street who had red stains from bullets all over their shirt. There were dozens of bullet holes in him, but he seemed unfazed by the whole thing. I asked him if we needed to call 911, but he just dismissed me and left. Later that day, I saw him in the news. Apparently, he was shot and killed during an armed robbery. It was then that I realized with my new vision, I could see when people would die. I decided to keep the whole thing a secret, not even telling my wife. Since then, I had run into a few people who looked mortally wounded, and I usually tried to give them some kind of warning. Sometimes it works, other times it doesn't, but there's not much more I can do. Telling them I can predict their death doesn't usually work out well. A week ago, my wife suggested we spend the weekend in her parents' lodge outside town. She said we can make some barbecue and spend some quality time together, just the two of us. She and I had grown a little distant in the past few months due to her working overtime and hardly being home, so this was a great opportunity to rekindle. I happily agreed and got ready while she packed up everything. But this morning, when I woke up and looked in the mirror, I nearly screamed. "Is everything okay, honey?" my wife asked, and I nodded, forcing a smile. She said she would be waiting in the car and left the bathroom. I told her I'd be down in a minute. I looked back at my reflection in the mirror and saw blood running down from the place where the fire poker had been embedded in my temple. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this week's story. If you did, you know what to do. Share, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to the author of this story, Scary Stories with BB. Guys, I'm not sure what BB stands for, but I'm intrigued. I will leave their Facebook page down below so you can follow them, as well as their Reddit page and a link to the original story on NoSleep. Next week will be a special video. If you guys watched the live stream, I mentioned what my favorite creepypasta was. One of them, I mentioned 2 stories. One of them I had not narrated before, so I'm going to do that next week. And then after that, guys, for the month of August, I will be taking a short month-long hiatus. I have 2 big projects on the side that have a deadline that are pretty much Labor Day weekend, and I have to hit those hard in order to meet those deadlines. So unfortunately, these stories are going to be taking a back seat for a little while. In the meantime, I hope I have enough time to at least compile stories and just record and stock them so that there are no more hiatuses moving forward. If anyone has any questions, let me know. Any comments, anything like that, drop them below per usual. If not, thank you again for listening. Until next time, remember to stay safe out there. I'll be seeing you in the next video.